Hey everybody, welcome to episode 47 of Around the Basket. I am the host of this show, Darryl, joined as always by my co-host of Around the Basket and Chain Out podcast, Jeremy. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great, but I knew it wouldn't last for long. During the 100th episode, when I interviewed Darryl Williams
Mm-hmm.
from Chain Out Podcast,
I know that guy.
he had said, I think at this point, me and my host are just co-hosts, I think, or something along that, no longer host. And now how far we've come in 1 week that I'm back to co-host.
I gave it to you for one episode. It made you feel good for one episode. Now
Yeah.
you're demoted back to co-host status.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sam and Dylan and everyone that's in the chat right now. I think that was the one. Probably we finished the Chain Out podcast earlier than we normally did,
We did.
so we had some extra time. So we kind of let the pre-roll run a little bit longer. And Sam's asking, how long can that pre-roll go before we're in trouble? Because I don't think we've actually ever because there's a lot more to go after that, Sam.
Yeah.
There's once all the snippets, all the short clips end. There's some jokes. There's some fun facts about Jeremy and Darryl. There's discs. There's lots of things that come after that. But we've never got to that point. There's an extra bit of music that you never get to hear.
Yeah, I think there's been once or twice we got in there where we let it roll out or we had something going on. But the one thing I don't know is you might still see at the very end, they'd still see the old Chain Out logo. No, you updated that.
I updated it,
Jeremy. And then there's a scroll bar along the bottom.
You know what? I don't know if I did update this one.
Right.
The scroll.
Right, because that's where all the jokes and stuff come. It's almost like a ticker tape.
Yeah, exactly. There is a ticker along the bottom, but
well, I'm also seeing you're getting some shout outs there for having not only the post ready to go, but people getting notified in their emails even. Bravo, brother.
Good job. First time in about 47 episodes. I got the Patreon out early. The email got sent out. The link was included on it. It wasn't just an email with no link. The link was included. Everything was there. So, yeah.
Yeah. And
go downhill from here.
That's right. We've got one every 47 episodes, hey, is what that is.
That's a good idea from Sam. He says, future April Fool's gag. Just let that play out and never start the show.
Or come on and say, thanks for joining us. And
well, you know what? This is probably a good thing because we always talk about Around the Basket. What is it? Where is it going? We like to include the chat in this part of it. The reason why that B-roll is there is because a friend of the show, Mark Thompson, had said to us, just so you guys know, when you finish Chain Out and we click on the link waiting for Around the Basket to start, we're just sitting there for 10 or 15 minutes looking at a blank screen waiting for the next one to start. So we were like, yeah, we didn't even think of that. We end Chain Out, go and use the washroom, grab a drink, whatever we need to do. And then we get ready to sit down to start Around the Basket. But so now I created that short clip sequence and I keep meaning to put together another one of different clips because everybody sees the same first part of that the pre-roll. But is there anything else that you would like to see or anything else to happen on Around the Basket? I know we've asked this a few times, but
well, and
that whole B-roll or pre-roll came from a comment from a listener is what I was trying to get at.
Yeah, that's exactly. I was going to reiterate that. It's a great example of when you guys talk, we listen, and if we can make something happen, we try to do that. So as we continue to get through season 2 of both, I guess it's season 2 of Chain Out, and would this be season 1 of Around the Basket? Or yeah. So as we get through season 1 of Around the Basket and we try to determine what season 2 will look like and what kind of content we can provide to the Patreon group, we give your suggestions and we'll come up with things. We've tried so many things since the start, and we've talked about this a number of times, so we don't need to. Right. And Dylan and Sam, we chat with them on the course, so we don't need to go too much on that. But one of the things we did want to do was look back at 2025 now that the Canadian A tiers are officially done, because I believe there were about 14 Canadian A tiers in the season. Oh, season 2, the Winds of Chain. I love it. But yes, so there were 14 Canadian A tiers this year.
14?
Yes. 3 of them were hams.
Because if you look at the beginning of the Fantasy Disc Golf League intro, it says there's only 10.
Yeah, well, there were actually 11 pro ones. There was the BC Open, which had an amateur one.
I was only out by one then. We don't count the amateurs.
Okay. And then there was the NADGT,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm trying to think of what the other one that was involved in there. But again, it was like an amateur one. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't a pro. But I thought, and you had
Okay.
actually suggested this, and I thought it was a great idea. So I just threw a quick little pointer here for us to spring off of.
Yeah.
But you want to kind of
Great segue, Jeremy.
do you want to kind of go through those 11 Pro A tiers and talk a little bit about them and
Yeah.
kind of quick hit them?
Yeah, exactly. We can talk, just give a quick rundown on them, some things that stood out for us. So,
Mm,
obviously, the A tiers kicked off. Like you said before, we have Tundra Toss here in Edmonton, but for us, really, the start of the disc golf season is spring runoff down in Lethbridge, Alberta.
mm-hmm.
We went down there this year. We went down there last year as well. That's kind of like our, you know, we'll see whether it turns into 3 years in a row, but that's our kickoff as well. Spring runoff, we were down
You know
there.
what I want to say? The reason we've done it 2 times in a row
What?
is because in the off season, we get enough of a break of each other that we forget all about it. And we
Exactly.
get so excited to play again that
Yeah.
we're like, oh, yeah, it'll be awesome. That's a great idea. And
Yeah.
then we do it again.
Okay, this year, you know not to do this. Yeah, no, I won't do that. Yeah, we'll take a separate card this time. Yeah, okay.
I think this year went well. But
Okay.
anyway, spring runoff.
Yeah. Um,
We had Coda Postma win the MPO side. And that was one of those ones where it was a bit of a surprise for us
mhm,
because Coda has, well, not 100%, but like Coda has been playing strong over the last couple years, or at least
mhm.
since we've started following disc golf more closely in Canada. And we've seen him high up on the leaderboard. But then he took this win.
Yeah.
And, we talked about this little bit tongue in cheek. As much as Coda Postma won the event, which he did, and
Yeah.
congrats to him, he did have a little help, I think. Could you say he had a little help by Casey?
Um, you know, definitely we could say Casey handed it to him or something along those lines. He gave him a little bit of help, but in fairness, you could say that about any event.
Any event, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
You
Coda
can,
executed.
you can only throw the disc that is in front of you and play the course. And if somebody else messes up or things outside of other people's capabilities affect the score, that's on them. And it just happened to be that when you threw the putt, it went in, there was no wind, and then the next guy steps up and it's a blustering hurricane. You can't blame it on anything else. So Coda threw the disc, he threw it well, he took down the win.
Yeah, I'd say Coda executed, and Casey had some moments of non-execution that punished him, and we were front row center for one of them, weren't we?
Yeah, that was, and that was probably, out of all the tournaments that we've been at, MA, in our amateur division, or even when we followed FPO, MPO cards, that was one of those times where it was kind of like a, oh, what do I do? What do I say? Where do I look? Because that was
tough to watch.
Yeah.
And
so for people that don't know, I think it was round three. Casey won at Lethbridge at Nick Sharon.
Yep.
Forehand, either he just turned it over, the wind took it, or he gripped it into the ground. I can't remember what, but he went OB like 30 feet off the tee.
Yeah, and to give you guys an idea, and anybody who doesn't know, hole one at Nick Sharon is a long, like I want to say 1,000-foot par 5.
From the blues, it is, yeah.
Put that, like you said, into the ground.
Now even thinking about it, it may have been a backhand. It wasn't a
forehand. No, it was a forehand.
Because I thought he went out over the road and was expecting it to come back.
That
and
was,
never did.
Well, you're going to get to that. First shot was the drive.
Okay,
the drive was a forehand.
Yeah.
And what happened was there was a little bit of a hill, and he threw it low, hit the hill, and that would have been bad enough.
Yeah.
But it cut rolled to the road that was just to the right.
Right.
OB. Now he starts at the road.
Yeah.
And now it's what you're thinking happens.
Then he's taking shot 3. Then he throws it out over the road to make it swing back in bounds.
Mm-hmm.
But with the wind or whatever it was, he threw it just straight out and it never came back. So then his third shot was probably 10 feet in front of him again.
Yes. So now you're looking at it, and with the OB shots, he's now throwing his par shot, his fifth shot, and he's maybe 45 to 50 feet from the tee on a 1,000-foot hole.
Yeah.
It was like, and he did manage, I think, to double bogey it, which says a lot.
Oh yeah.
Which is a recovery in all sense of it. But wow, that was something to take from there.
Yeah.
And then on the FPO side, if we go over there, we got Joe Henderson.
Mm-hmm.
She had injury last year, actually a couple injuries last year, and this was just the start of her rise to fame. Right? Like this was her first big event for the year.
Yeah.
Of a year where she won almost every event she played in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then also we can't forget to mention there was this MA40 guy who wanted to be on Chase card as one of his goals, and he ended up on lead card round after
After
round
round
one.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a guy.
That Jeremy Power guy, what a great guy.
I remember because I was actually playing in that event.
Mm.
And I remember checking the scorecards thinking, scroll down near the bottom.
You don't check scorecards.
After I finished my round.
Oh, gotcha.
Checking to see where this Jeremy Power guy was. I scroll down the bottom and I can see, there's a couple usual suspects down the bottom, and then I'm kind of down near the bottom as well, and I'm scrolling and I'm like, did he DNF? Because I don't see his name on the card, and I have to keep scrolling. And then lo and behold, I see him up there in third place.
That was amazing. I remember even afterwards, our buddy Travis Bouchard had said to me, he's like, Jeremy, I looked at one point and you were leading.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? I was leading.
Yeah. What a way to start out. I'm not a goal setter. You are. Your goal was to be on Chase card, and you end up first tournament of the, well, I guess,
first A tier of the year.
First A tier of the year. After the first round, you're on lead card.
Yeah, it was
then
awesome.
The pressure got to you.
No, ended up being a good finish, probably my best finish of the year too.
Yeah,
for a big event like that. And then at the same time as spring runoff was going on, you were saying that's our West A tier that starts the year.
Yeah, exactly. If we say that spring runoff is our first kickoff to the year, Foxwood Open would be the Central Eastern first event kickoff of the year as well. The Foxwood Open.
Yep.
On the MPO side, Tommy G
starts the year off right.
Yeah.
With, I want to say, we were trying to remember, and maybe, if Dylan or Sam remembers, they can tell us, or we can take a look. But I want to say it was a 3-peat for Thomas winning Foxwood, and a 4-peat or a 3-peat for Chantel. I can't remember. But either way, Chantel Badinsky, Thomas Gilbert, Ontario's two big pro players, they take the wins at Foxwood Open at a tournament that, as we know, hole 1 is a bear, just kind of like hole 1 is a bear at spring runoff.
Yeah.
And they both come out smiling with the gold medal, if there's a gold medal or whatever you want to say.
Just looking at Thomas's start to the season, I was wondering, because what we say spring runoff is kind of our first kickoff event. Was it the same for him? But no, he had already played in Supreme Flight Open
down in Florida. Yeah.
And then he played B tier at Project 15, the P15 Open. Then he played the Muskoka Open, which is where we got the term the Muskoka layup because of him going long on a par 5, I think it was. And then he won Foxwood. So that was his 4th event of the year.
Okay.
And he won, and we can get to that in a minute because we're following it up with the next event, but we'll switch over to the FPO side to start with.
Yeah, as we were saying, Chantel Badinsky, Miss Frisbee, she also won in, like I said, it was either her 3-peat or 4-peat of the tournament. She's won it multiple times as well. So it was a great kickoff to the start of the season. And then we roll into a brand new A tier for this year.
Are you sure it was a brand new Dieppe Open?
We did not cover it last year. We covered the Discmania Open last year. And the Dieppe Open, maybe it was in existence last year, which I'm guessing it was, but it wasn't an A tier last year. So this year was the first time it was an A tier.
Yeah, that could be it.
Yeah.
So Thomas ends up entering that event. He takes down the win there as well. So that's back-to-back wins. But no, that's back-to-back-to-back wins because he won the Muskoka Open, he won the Foxwood Open, and then he wins the Dieppe Open as well. So Thomas, at that point in his season, played 2 events, one on the Pro Tour, played the P15, then goes into 3 first-place finishes.
Yeah, and then even when we talked to Luc Richard, great TD out there in Dieppe, he tried to Thomas proof, as many tournament directors have tried over the years, to try and Thomas proof a couple holes. And Thomas said, I don't care, and still was getting birdies and eagles.
And if you go back and watch our interview with Thomas last week, you'll know how to Thomas proof, of course.
Yes. Directly from him, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And then our other friend out of the Bronte league or team. Bronte Club, thank you.
Yeah.
Colleen McInnes went out there and she won the FPO side. And Colleen, I got a chance to meet her last year. You got a chance to meet her this year. She's great on the podcast every time we talk to her, and then she's great in person as well. The one thing I know, as I realized, is that, I can be a bit verbose. Did you know that?
Really?
I can be a little bit verbose.
Okay.
And Colleen will keep right up with me. And so the one thing I recognized when we did do that recap is we didn't have enough time for her. So I think we need to get her back on the show, maybe in season 3, and we give her some time, and we'd really just have a great conversation with her because she's always got lots of good insight and sometimes good gossip. So maybe it's more for a what would that be, like a Patreon only special where we could get some gossip from Colleen?
Only discs.
Yeah. The winds of change
Yeah.
only did.
Well, one thing we know about Colleen is that she's not afraid to speak her mind.
Yeah, and I love that about her. It's awesome.
Yeah.
What happens after that?
After that, we head all the way up to the second year running. We talk about
Mhm.
the Dieppe Open being a first year event. This next event was a first year event last year.
Right.
Second running of it this year. It was larger than life up in the Yukon.
Mhm.
We covered it last year. This year, friends of the show, friends of the Edmonton area, Tim Pomondon and Kristen Swirls were lucky enough to go up there.
That's right.
They made
Yeah.
the trip up there. That was on their bucket list. Probably after seeing it, after our coverage, maybe watching the Park Pro coverage as well, watching it up there, playing the 24 hours of daylight of disc golf.
Mhm.
They headed up there. But on the MPO side, he's on a roll. Tommy G takes down the third A tier win of his career, of his season.
Yeah.
I know it's going to be hard for him. He mentioned that he wanted to win quite a few when we interviewed him.
Mhm.
I don't remember if it was this event. I think it probably was either this one or it was the Dieppe Open that we interviewed him, and he said that one of his goals was to try and win 8 A tiers across
Mhm.
Canada this year. It's going to be a bit hard for him to try and win the most if Spring Runoff and Foxwood are on the same weekend.
True.
You're never going to be able to be a player to be able to win all of them in the
That's
same season.
that's true. They'd have to change it by at least a week, right?
Yeah.
And in that larger than life tournament as well, we started to realize once again that Thomas is a person who does a lot of travel. As you said, he started down in Florida at the Supreme Flight Open.
Mm-hmm.
He heads back home to Ontario, and then he's all the way up to Whitehorse. So he's already traveled more than the two of us are probably going to travel in a whole year.
Right.
In 3 tournaments.
Yeah.
And then on the what happened on the FPO side for that?
Yeah. So on the FPO side, there were 4 FPOs in that event.
Mhm.
Like we said, Kristen Swirls, Brianna Ainsley, we know Shauna Scott, and Brianne Levia.
Yeah, local.
Yeah, local one, lose the lines, maybe.
Took it out. Well, I think the one thing about that was a brand new course, and that was some of the feedback that we heard about Larger Than Life is that maybe it was a little early to be on the new course, but yet everybody still enjoyed it, and it was a mountainside course where if you went and the chairlift wasn't running,
Mm-hmm.
you had to walk up.
Right.
Right. So there was a lot of things going on, but they had some pretty big shots, some long downhills. I think that was one of the ones where Thomas.
Well, that was part of the feedback that I heard from Tim, who went up there and played it, was some of the holes, they tried to make them Thomas proof. And in making them Thomas proof, even though he was still able to just to throw and rip and get it over the fairway and cut the corner sort of thing, it really took it out of play for everyone else in the field. So in trying to Thomas proof them, maybe it wasn't such a great experience for the 99% of everybody else playing the course. There was really no fairway to aim at and things like that. So, that's what you get for having a course, maybe rushing it a little bit too early to get it to be part of it. I know there were other things happening to reasons why they wanted it to be in that course this year.
Well, I think though, moving forward to the Larger Than Life version 3 is they've set such a great groundwork and have gotten the wheels of motion rolling to have a good event and to have one in the territories.
Mm-hmm.
So what my thoughts are is going to happen is that, okay, yeah, your first year with a new course, it's going to be a little bit rough. Who's going to expect it to be perfect? But next year they're going to have that course and hopefully their course from year 1. And now they got 2 good courses and maybe a couple tweaks to some holes on that course that they would have learned from that event and throughout the year.
Yeah.
But
have an extra year of growth on it.
Yeah, we know Ryan does so much up there and the rest of the team, Jamie's up there as well, Brianne, and they do a ton of work. So
yeah.
Then we move down a little further south.
Yeah. What happens there?
Well, we get down to the BC Open out at Raptors Knoll, and somebody who hasn't won an A tier on the MPO side for a number of years and who had some health issues last year decides, yeah, no. Things are changing.
Yeah.
No, that's Joe Henderson, right?
Right.
No, wait, that's not just Joe Henderson who had some health issues going on the year before. Also, Noah Higgins. He goes down to BC and takes the tournament the BC Open.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great win for him.
Mm-hmm.
Over on the FPO side, we had some bigger names come up, bit of a free time play on the Canadian tour. We had Taylor Chosek come up, and she took down the win there, getting a nice A-tier win for her. I know she's had a couple, but it's always good to get another one, a nice win for her.
Yeah. We got a chance to have both of them on the show that week.
We did.
LTL, we didn't get so lucky. There was some other things that came up, but then we got back on track, and it was good to talk to Taylor.
Yeah. First time having her on the podcast. Great guest.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely check her out on social media. That's where,
And
good to see a lot of these pros is you see them playing the tour, but you only get to see them if they're on lead card. You might get some highlights, but following these players on social media, you get all the behind the scenes. You get to really see their personality, and you get to see a lot more about them.
Well, and with Taylor and Sophia Donica both being from the West Coast, both starting into disc golf around the same time, both jumping on the pro tour, all of these things here, they've become fast friends. And a lot of times when you follow one social, you're essentially following the others, and at least when they're on tour together, right? So,
absolutely.
Yeah, and that's always exciting to see. So then we go up and we go to TCO, otherwise known as the Carrie Neal Hotel Invitational.
Yeah.
Which is up there in Kamloops. And we joke about that because Carrie is just so kind and an awesome tournament director that she opens up her home to as many pros as she can to help make it easier for them to come up and play an event up in Kamloops. So she opens it up, players like Thomas go up there, Noah. If Gabby was in town, I'm sure she could go up there. All of those players.
Go back and listen to our episode with Carrie Neal. She's pretty much the who's who of people who've stayed at her house.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if not staying at her house, they'd have come over for an outdoor barbecue.
That's right.
Yeah.
So then what happened on MPO side there?
Yeah. So like you mentioned before, BC Open, Noah takes down his win, and he's thinking, I'm on a roll. I like this taste. I like this feeling of, taking down a win. Goes to TCO, and he says, yeah, I'm just going to take down the win here as well.
That's right.
Back-to-back A-tier wins for Noah. Which is a great road trip.
Pretty good if you ask me. And they were back on Rose Hill up there. And I think did they use Dick Hart for some of the events, or did we find out that they weren't quite ready to use Dick Hart?
Yeah, they weren't. Yeah, they didn't get Dick Hart, I don't think.
Okay, so they used MacArthur Island, they used Rose Hill, but for sure they want to use Dick Hart next year, I think is what it was.
Yeah.
But just having Rose Hill back in the redesign of the course sounded so awesome. And then all of a sudden on the FPO side, Jessica Goulet took it down.
Who?
Yeah, exactly. That was what you and I said. We looked at each other. We're like, Jessica who?
Yeah. Where did this name come from?
And then we found out this name in Kamloops, BC came from Ontario.
Yeah.
So this was a new to us FPO player.
And I don't know about you, but anytime we had done FPO picks in our fantasy league, like I don't even remember seeing her name in any of the Ontario events. Do you?
She might have been there, but maybe we just didn't know. But I don't think so, because we probably would have still figured out enough to make sure she was on our list.
You're right. We would have picked her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we found out that, she's got one thing we learned is she's got a wicked sidearm. She's got a forehand that is what she relies on and has kind of helped her rise up the fame to get that win.
Yeah.
What else did we learn?
We know that she likes a harbor.
Yeah, we learned that she was in Kamloops
Yeah.
to win on the tournament day, and then by Wednesday of the next week when we had her on the show, we were like, that doesn't look like Kamloops when she got onto the show. And there she is sitting on the harbor in Victoria, just enjoying this whole West Coast tour, which was awesome. One of the fun backgrounds there with kind of the bustle and hustle going around.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we had a bit of a break. We had a bit of a break between TCO. We had a few weeks off, but then we got right back at it again with Eastern Canadian AMs.
Yeah. John Pytel's event, right?
This is one of those ones where you say that there were 14 A tiers, but we don't count the BC AMs, but we counted the BC pros. But this event that we did do last year is the Eastern Canadian AMs.
That has pros in it.
But it has pros in it. Yeah.
So that's John Pytel's out at the Eddyville Super Spin Center.
Super Spin. Sorry. Yeah, I always want to call
There's a racetrack somewhere around too, but out in Bourget. And one of the things you reminded me of as we were talking about this earlier was that's normally 2 courses, but we had something happen with John did something different this year.
Yeah, I mean, like we'd already talked about it. It's the thing that everyone tries to do. They try and Thomas proof the courses. He combined the 2 courses together. I believe there were some holes that were throwing over baseball diamonds.
I know they did that at Dieppe for sure. They
Oh,
they might have done that here, but I know what they did with this one is they took, if I remember right, because they had been talking when I listened back to our episode with
mhm.
John last year, he was even talking about it then was to try and make a best of course. Like it was going
Right.
to be a super course. I don't know. It wasn't super, but it was something like a whatever he had said. But he said, "I'm going to take my
Yeah.
two courses, turn it in one ultimate course, and see how that
Yeah.
goes." And
Yeah.
it did lead into something pretty amazing because we did have Martin Hendel on the show a little earlier, and we mentioned Eastern Canadian AMs, and he talked about how it was a pretty good battle with Thomas there. And what it was right into the whole weekend and right into the very final hole, Martin had a chance. Thomas was leading and
Mhm.
he could have come back.
Right.
And there was the way they made that last hole, it was like island to island. And then from the second island, you had to throw into this tight little gap
Mhm.
in order to get in there. Or maybe it was to one island and then the tight little gap if you
Right.
wanted a chance at the eagle. And so Marty threw out of bounds, trying to make sure to put in the good effort to catch Thomas and take the win.
Mhm.
And then Thomas knew that no matter what happened, win was in his pocket.
Right.
And people started shouting to him after he landed on the island. They're like, go for it, go for it. And he said, what the heck?
Yeah.
And so he went for it, and people got a chance to see Thomas. We talk about the thing that he gets OB every now and then.
Mhm.
Not this time.
Yeah.
He laced a shot through this little tunnel and takes the eagle. And I'm like, when he was telling that story, that was a highlight for me about
Yeah. Yeah.
interview.
Yeah. So that, yeah, Thomas ended up taking down the win there, and then
Mm-hmm.
over on the FPO side,
Right?
somebody else popped back up again. We've already had some repeat winners.
Yeah.
Jessica Goulet.
No.
Not,
She's in Victoria. How
yeah,
did she
not
get
not happy with just finishing and taking down the win in Kamloops,
right?
having a little vacation in Victoria, ends up coming all the way back, takes down the win at Eastern Canadian AMs as well. So it's interesting to see the kind of the waves of people in certain areas that they'll go on tour, they'll win an A tier, they'll win another A tier, they'll be on a roll, and then it'll shift, and the A tiers will go back to a different area, and then somebody's name
Mhm.
will start popping up again. But like you said there, Jessica won in Kamloops, she goes all the way back, and then she wins in the Eastern Canada as well. So it's not necessarily province by province.
Mhm.
It can be all over, but Jessica ends up taking down the win, second A tier in a row.
Yeah, and that was a bit of a road trip, I think, for her as well, because she's from New Hamburg, and that again, Bourget is up by Ottawa.
Okay,
So
you know that area
yeah,
better than I do.
well, I think you know what I'm knowing these places not because I lived in Ontario,
Right,
but just because when I'm doing the research for
right,
there, a lot of times, I'm like, how far is this place from this place?
right.
You know,
Did
are there
did
any
you have a bit
islands
of a
around
drive?
here?
Yeah, it's certainly islands.
What's the closest island?
Yeah,
How do I tie that in as a segue?
right.
So that was good. And then again, after Eastern Canadian AMs, I think there was a bit of a break. We go out to Falcons Flight, finally one that one of us was at, which was me.
Yes.
I was at
Well, we were at Spring Runoff,
yes, so we were at Spring Runoff, but we hadn't been at any of the other
the
events
other one.
that
Yeah.
happened. And then I got a chance to go out to Falcons, and that was just a great experience to be there. Of course, I had the long break where there was the lightning delay,
Mhm.
which is kind of tough when your round gets interrupted by a lightning delay for 4 hours
Right,
or three or whatever it was. But the lightning display
right.
was insane.
Wow.
Like I'm talking, I think I mentioned it in the show. At one point, it felt like a Ghostbusters fitting for Halloween week here, but a
Right.
Ghostbusters plasma beam coming down and
Wow.
hitting the ground,
Yeah.
and then everything everything at Falcons is if something happens there, it's usually Rudy coming to visit, and
Yeah.
that was definitely an example of that.
Yeah.
But what we got to see there was Adrian Redick,
Mhm.
pretty much young Adrian Redick, because I want to say he's 16, 17 years old out of Cranbrook, plays with Casey and Ben and the boys out there, Mason Howard, all
Yeah.
of those guys. Well, Adrian surprises, maybe not a surprise because everyone knows he's good, but as we know with young players and anybody who's hasn't won a tournament yet, it's not about being good. It's about being good 3 days in a row.
Right.
And he managed to do that and got to the very end. But Nick Culver, a little more experience winning in Mexico and the things that he's done,
Yeah.
managed to tie it up, take it to a playoff, and Nick won that event. And I guess for him, from talking to Miguel and then having Nick on the show,
Mhm.
it was one of those things that was almost like a monkey on his back. He just couldn't
Yeah.
get the win, and then he goes and takes the win in the playoff. That was
Yeah.
that was exciting.
Yeah. And that, we'll mention it now, but we could have mentioned it earlier when we spoke to Coda on the podcast, or the people that Taylor and people like that. But
Hmm.
it's good that we get to speak to Thomas. We've spoken to him before. We spoke to him at Nationals. Spoken to him a couple times
We
now.
speak to him as often as we can. He's awesome to talk to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Colleen McInnes we've had on a few times. Noah we've had on a few times, part of the spring runoff TD,
Hmm.
interviews and things like that. But when we get to speak to Coda, when we get to speak to Nick, those first time winners, the first guests on our podcast,
Yeah.
like that's I don't want to say it makes the episode better, but it makes it I don't want to say interesting either, because obviously, like we
It
like,
gives us a fresh
is it?
perspective, I
There you
would
go.
say.
That's a good
Yeah.
way to put it. Yeah, getting a different person to talk to, and just hearing their approach to the game is different to somebody else, and especially in that one, like you say, through the playoff.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And FPO side, okay. I don't like to say I have favorites, Darryl, but I do have a favorite, at least in my top
do
categories.
you have a favorite son?
No.
Okay, but you have a favorite FPO. You can pick.
Well,
I
no.
guess they're not the
I
same.
have I have an FPO that I hold near and dear to my heart.
Okay.
Yeah, that I'm always it's one of those FPOs that every time I see her, my face lightens up. I'm
Right.
always excited to see her. I just really love our interactions together, our conversations,
Hmm.
and just her general disposition and outlook on the game. And I think part of it is because I'm very manic, right?
Right.
I feel I am. I feel I'm
Okay.
more manic. She's a very calming presence. So
Right.
I almost think there's that yin and yang of it, is that I know that I can go over there and get some balance and some
Right.
levity and stuff. And that was Gabby Lee
Yeah.
taking down the win. So always love her. And yeah, she did a great job
And you
taking that
you
one
had a
down.
good interaction with her. I think it was after round two.
Yeah, I just felt we had a conversation, but when we chatted, she really
Hmm.
appreciated it. So
Yeah.
that's
There you
good.
go. Yeah.
Picked up another disc from her. She
Maybe Gabby right now is talking to somebody and she's like, I like the Chain Out podcast guys, but I do have a favorite. I don't really want to say I want to pick one over the other, but
the guy with the beard.
there is one that I like to talk to more than the other. Like we feel like, I'm quite calming, and I feel like he has this upbeat energy that when we get together, it's kind of a balance.
I don't think it goes
No,
that way.
she's not sitting at home thinking anything about you right now.
No.
No.
Well, it does give me an aside for you though.
Okay.
I was uh at the space race on the weekend,
Mm-hmm.
and it happened again, as it always does. It was actually Joel Ellard. And I'll give Joel the pass there. We were sitting there in the dark at the picnic table,
Right.
and he was like, hey, good to see you. How's it going, Darryl? So apparently,
It,
it
it,
is the Chain Out podcast with Darryl and Darryl, is what it is. Maybe it's like that whole my brother Darryl and my other brother Darryl.
Right. Well, it's funny you say that, because I know Travis, whenever he comes up to me now, he always says, "How's it going, Jeremy?" And I kind of like, as soon as I hear it, I kind of look and do a double take. But now I know he says it on purpose, because he's gotten us confused so many times in the beginning.
Yeah.
But I think for him, it was more so along the lines of something that I've said to you before, is when he said to me that I was Jeremy, I said, no, I'm Darryl. In his mind, he's thinking, okay, he's Darryl, he's Darryl, he's Darryl. And then when he comes up to me, he thinks, okay, that's Darryl. No, you always get it wrong the first time. So that's Jeremy. So then he's saying, this is himself. So now it's just a thing that I think whenever, I think we couldn't be two more opposite looking people. I've got so much hair coming out of my head. You have very little.
I love it.
You have all the energy and you're not afraid to talk to anybody. I'm the I reserved one that will just stay, rather just stay off in the corner and not talk to anybody. So I don't know.
Oh, that's it. Well, Falcon's Flight is always
Yes.
followed very quickly by another A tier out in the West.
Yes, that'll be the Gold Eagle Open, the
Mm-hmm.
Geo, which takes place out there at
Coachpin,
Coachpin.
Saskatchewan,
Yes,
at Jackfish Lake.
Jackfish Lake. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This year was the year when they decided, or I don't know how they decided, but they took away. Normally, with the two courses, they have the pop-up beach course,
Mm-hmm.
which I know a lot of people like to go and play, because it is that one of a kind, one time a year pop-up event. But this year they decided they weren't going to have that, and they just played the 2 rounds, or the 3 rounds on the Jackfish Lake course on the hill, the windy, the nice calming.
And the ups and the
Yeah.
downs and all that. And I do remember what had happened was apparently because of the previous year, and it's in the Parked Pro coverage, there was a section of beach where the one hole, maybe it's the one with the lighthouse on it,
Mm-hmm.
the lighthouse basket.
Yeah.
There's a stretch of beach and there were a lot of people on there, and some of the discs, even in the Park Pro coverage,
Oh, really?
went astray onto the beach.
Oh,
So I
okay.
think what happened was there was a question of if there was a conflict between the beachgoers and the discs flying. And then I remember this year seeing a picture
Mm-hmm.
where, and it could have just been timing, because if it was early in the morning, who knows?
Right.
But someone said, "Oh, so apparently the beachgoers are a problem," and it was just a picture of the beach
Mm-hmm.
because they weren't playing the course,
Right.
and there's nobody on
Nobody
the
on there.
beach.
Yeah.
So it all will depend on the weather. So hopefully, maybe they can make a tweak or an adjustment to the course, get that beach course back. But
Not, we'll just put it out there. I know this is for people in the chat. They're gonna know right now. But when this gets put out on the Saturday, it's not really gonna make much of a difference. But Jays win.
and third time the Jays have won in the playoffs while we've been podcasting.
There you go.
That's right. I think it'll be the last one, because no matter what, with the way the games are, the World Series will be done one way or another before next week.
You call it coincidence or you call it luck. I don't know.
I don't think you call it either. I think you say it is the chain out special. So if you listen to a chain out episode,
Could it be the chain out curse?
no, not curse, because the Jays win.
Okay.
Maybe it's the curse for LA. You were just saying the COC.
Maybe it's the chain out curse / kismet. No? Okay. Anyway.
I got where you're going there.
Moving on.
Gold Eagle Open. Well, on the MPO side, the Gold Eagle Open. Well, who won that, Darryl? Eagle Open.
Exactly. Let's have a think back.
Okay.
Let's look at the BC Open.
BC Open, Raptors Knoll.
Raptors Knoll. What do they have as their logo?
They got this big bird, this raptor bird, yeah.
TCO.
Oh, I've been to the TCO.
Kamloops.
I've got a hockey puck that still has it. I remember seeing the jerseys.
Yeah.
Woo!
Has a bit of, right? Has an owl.
Has an owl, yeah.
Yeah. Gold Eagle Open. It's a bird theme.
Yeah.
Somebody likes bird themes. Noah Higgins takes down the win again. Check out his socials to say he has a thing for winning.
8 years that have birds as mascots.
Winning on the bird. Yeah. Yeah. Good for him. He had a great year. 3 A-tier wins, 2 back-to-back. Takes down the third A-tier win of his season.
Yeah. And then Bailey Inglis takes it down on the FPO side. And Bailey had actually won Falcons Flight the year before. She had a great battle at Gold Eagle with Terry one of the years, where they went into a playoff, and then I know that it was a great battle that way.
Yeah.
And then Bailey goes and wins it again, and we were all set, Darryl.
Wasn't it a great interview?
It was. It was going to be, because it is difficult, as you know, the two of us, we know, is that to try and get the TD, the FPO winner, the MPO winner, get them all to be able to come on. So they all have to be available at a specific time so that we can do a live episode the way we do.
Right.
And when we get it, it's great. And we had it.
Mm-hmm.
We had all three of them. Well, we were on a trip.
Yeah.
And we were on a trip, and we loved that trip. But this was probably the one thing we did not love about this trip.
What did you love about Nationals? There was the opening ceremony. There was meeting all the people.
The cafe, the beverages,
the after hours activities.
Oh, yeah.
Meeting the pros, the courses. What can you think of anything that sucked?
The internet.
The internet was so poor that we could not do a live episode. I think we tried and we got I think we managed 13 seconds.
We started the show, but we went for like 20 something minutes.
Yeah.
And didn't realize that 13 seconds in. And then, one of the worst things we lost out about that, but we got to go back to, I guess that's kind of it about the Gold Eagle Open, is we didn't get to do that show.
Right.
But we'll tell you behind the scenes, because we were at Nationals at that point.
Yeah.
What was really cool was Brooklyn Okrafka, junior, who's been on the show and we really enjoy and like talking to. She had snuck up behind us, so there was that cool part that we lost,
right?
Because that would have been on there. But then later on, do you remember she found? Was it the goat head? It was like a goat mascot head.
It must have been a goat mascot
because it was oat goat.
Yeah, I figured it was something else, but
So first of all, we get this nice hug and we get to chat with her. All of that's great. She posts that on her socials.
Yeah.
But then she snuck behind the couch where we were sitting and stood up with this goat head on.
Yeah.
And then I think she was doing a little dance, and
Doing the dance behind the scenes as well. That was awesome.
and nobody got to see that, but we got that experience, and that was good. And that brings us into Canadian Nationals. So we were at that event. That was the Wednesday. We had a whole week there.
Pretty much, we did. Yeah.
Yeah, like we were there from Wednesday, arriving bright and early after taking the red eye on Wednesday morning, and then we left Monday night. So we were in Ontario for a full week, and it was a busy week. I think I was even, wasn't I fighting a bit of a cold too? I was a little stuffed up, I think, when I've listened to our opening ceremonies that we did out there.
If you were, I didn't.
You weren't paying
I didn't pick
attention.
up on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a great event. We were. It was one of those good events where we were able to finish playing and get to back, because the MPO and FPO finished at Oak Goat, the course that we didn't play, but we were lucky enough to be able to finish our. And that's probably the good thing about not playing so well on the first and second round, is on the third round you start early.
And you're done early.
So you're done early. So we were able to leave our course. I think we finished at P15.
We ran back, got a quick shower because it was just a big day, I think.
Did we?
I want to say we went straight.
I think we went straight there because we were wanting to
Right,
make sure that
'cause
we didn't miss anything.
So we went straight there, we ate, and then had just enough time after we ate to get to the FPOs and see them finish on the 18th hole. Or I ate.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. Didn't we walk around with the MPOs?
We did, but that was after the FPOs finished. We caught up with the MPOs.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So sorry. Yes, my mistake. Yes.
So why don't we start with the FPOs?
Yes, we caught up with the FPOs. We've seen them finishing out.
And the other thing that held me back was I had a chat with Alex Paletto at the cafe after she finished, and had a great 20-minute conversation with her. But we got a chance to see the finish, and Rebecca Dawn was leading the event all weekend. She's the 17-year-old from Ontario who's been on the Disc Golf Pro Tour, earned over 10 grand this year on the tour, making waves, making a name for herself, won the RIP last year, and was looking for the second year in a row after 10-year drought of bringing the FPO win and keeping it in Canada at the Canadian Nationals and not having an American take it away.
And what happened?
Do we got a video on it? Why don't we go again? Why don't you narrate it too? So
I don't think we'll be able to because it'll be playing.
But we'll give it a try.
Yeah, I think we can narrate it. It's not.
So we got. Yeah, go ahead.
Paige Pierce, probably about 40 to 45 feet away.
At least.
She knows that if she drains this putt, it could be good for her. Makes an amazing putt. And then Rebecca still has to putt at this point to tie it, I think.
And you can see Rebecca in the background.
In the background there, yeah.
Yeah, she's bending down and putting down her mini to take her putt that was close to the rocks. And had she made her putt, which I do have a video of too, we just don't have it loaded.
Yeah.
Had she made her putt, it would have went into a playoff.
Yeah.
But then she hit cage.
Yeah.
And bounced down. And kudos to her being a young player, still figuring things out and everything else. Is you could tell the emotions were there, and they should be there with such a crazy finish. And one of the best things that I enjoyed about Paige was Paige went ahead and said, in her victory speech, she was very excited because she hadn't won in a long time.
Right.
So she really appreciated the win, but she used the words bittersweet.
Yeah.
Because she admired Rebecca's play, and the last thing she wanted to do was take the FPO win away from the Canadian.
Exactly.
Right. Have an American come up and take it.
She knew what it meant to Rebecca and to everybody else at the tournament.
Yeah. So that was awesome. It really was.
Sam in the chat saying that if you watch that video, the flag is moving as well. It's not a perfectly calm day. The flag is moving. It's a tailwind. Make that putt from 45 feet. It just shows why she is a multiple world champion.
Yeah. And really, we didn't get a chance to have Paige on the show. She ended up, she was going to join us for that recap show. We had her all lined up, and then she didn't make it audible right at the moment, but she ended up going to bed early because she had a tee time at 7:50 in the morning.
Yeah.
So she couldn't join us. But, I guess that was best for her because she ended up winning that tournament. So she went back-to-back wins. But you know what? As much as we didn't get to share Paige Pierce, a conversation with her with our listeners, we kind of got our own experience chatting with her
Oh yeah.
and with Connor as well, Connor O'Reilly.
Yeah, and that was the great thing about going to nationals was when you're done playing your round, you're at Haute Goat. There's a lot to do, or there's a lot to do in the cafe, and there's all the activities that you can do. But you know, the what do you call it? The
Camaraderie or the
no, like the fact that the pros are just there, like
Mhm.
how reachable,
accessible.
approachable, accessible. Yeah,
Mhm.
they were right there. They were having something to eat. We were there. We kind of sat down with them and just, I don't know how we got invited to sit down next to them and have
Well,
a meal with them.
if I can tell you what I remember
Hmm.
was, so I went over and was asking Connor a question. He was in line to get some food
Right.
and I was chatting with him, and Brendan was over there too, I believe. And then Connor said, well, why don't you sit with us? And Paige was there as well. And Sean Galbraith from Miss Mando was sitting with Paige,
Hmm.
and we were sitting chatting with Connor. You were over trying to get everything figured out because we just finished recording with Sean our fantasy picks show, and so you were just kind of trying to get all of that stuff figured and wrapping up our stuff. And then
Hmm.
you came over and sat and joined, and then all of a sudden you join. I'm there, Sean's there, Brendan's there, Connor's there, Paige is there, and we're just chatting like we've been friends forever. It felt
Yeah.
like we're talking
It was a bit unreal.
politics, we're talking US, we're talking Canada, we're talking all
Wheat.
of these things.
Why more pros don't come up to the
To
Canada
Canada,
and play it.
we're
It was
like,
a 4 hour easier journey for Paige to come up this way and do it. And
mhm.
then, yeah.
So that was awesome. But then let's not forget what happened on the MPO side,
Yeah.
because
So
that has a
then,
Cardinal connection, doesn't it?
no,
No, that wasn't a
no.
Cardinal
So,
connection.
well, it
Yeah.
kind of does because that person was in the playoff.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
we ended up finishing watching the FPOs pot out. We did some interviews. We kind of, you know, uh, we got some pictures with Miss Frisbee,
Hmm.
Chantel, and Chris. We saw, all the FPOs finish there, so we got to shake hands and meet them people again. And then once that kind of settled down, then we headed out to follow the MPOs, and I think we caught up with them at like hole 6 or 7, the lead card.
Yes.
And then we had kind of, depending on the layout of the course, we'd gone back between chase card and lead card,
Hmm.
trying to follow both of them around, follow them all the way around, and we get to hole 18, and it turns out that it ends with a tie for first between Clay Edwards and Ryan Mon. No, Austin Bates. Sorry,
Yes. Austin
Austin
Bates.
Bates and Ryan Mon.
Hmm.
So we go to a playoff,
So that's it
MPO playoff, final day
at
at
Nationals. So I thought I
Nationals.
had already peaked by seeing the Falcons flight playoff
Yeah,
from the MPO. But
yeah,
no. The bar gets raised
yeah.
with two disc golf pro tour players
Yeah.
going to a
Both looking
playoff.
for their first A tier win, I believe. So yeah, they tee off on hole one, and that I don't know if you mentioned how many holes it took at Falcons Flight, but
Just one, whole one.
there you
Yep.
go. Yeah, it was just the one hole at Nationals as well. And we got to follow Ryan Mon take down the win.
Hmm.
Unlucky. They both had great drives, both had great approaches. Austin was just a little bit further out.
But they
Went
both
right
had
to
great putts.
yeah,
Because if I remember right, Austin
just hit
rung up the
cage.
band,
Yeah, or it was either cage or a band.
Cage or band, but
Yeah.
he was right
It's
there.
just a matter of inches just to
Yeah.
tying it and pushing it through. And then Ryan obviously stepped up, made his putt,
Hmm.
took down the win there. And then, yeah, we had reached out to Ryan as we did to Paige and said, will you come on the podcast? And he made it work. Obviously, being an MPO, had a later start time. So
Hmm.
we did get to speak to Ryan and we had a great conversation with him. But yeah, the Cardinal connection was
Austin
Austin
Bates.
Bates being in second place. So we got a picture with him as well.
Yeah. And with Ryan Mon as well, he's reached out to us a couple times asking when that coverage is up. So even the pros are as excited as we are to see coverage. And I know
Yeah.
Jared, we even heard Jared was down at USDGC Throw Pink,
Hmm.
and then he was just at Ontario Provincial. So he's just racking up the footage, and he's probably going to end up in the same situation that we know that um, Park
Part
Pro
pro.
has been in,
Yeah.
and Andre and Matt, and that's a matter of having, and we've even been there too,
Yeah.
because you have all of this coverage. We still got She's Up first coverage, but then you got to do something with it,
Yeah.
and it takes
Exactly.
that takes time. So
Yeah.
we're excited to see that come out, and we thought that would be it. No, that wouldn't be it. We have one more
Yeah.
tournament, and we just talked about
We
it
just
earlier.
talked about it. Yeah, Ontario Provincials. We know it. You know it. Martin Hendel took down the win on the MPO side. Second chance of getting to talk to Martin. Um, he recapped a great event.
Hmm.
Recapped or talked about how he came back from injury earlier on in the season. Take some time off. Make your injury take the time for your injury, let your body heal,
Yes.
come back strong, took down the win. What I didn't get a chance to mention it on the podcast there because he mentioned something and then we kind of took a detour. But um, he had mentioned after hole one, he felt like packing up his bags and going home.
Yes.
But yet to have the mental fortitude to dig in, and then even he said um, on hole one, round one, like he had some nerve stepping up to the putt and all that. And I'm thinking, you're Martin Hendel. You've played on the Pro Tour. You've played on cards with Paul McBeth and Cale LaVisca and Nate Sexton and a who's who of disc golfers down on the Pro Tour. And you're having nerves about stepping up to a putt playing with other Canadian pros. And we're like, well, if you can get nervous, then that makes me feel a little bit better when we're in those situations and maybe we get nerves. And I say to you, just treat it like a practice round, Jeremy. Like, just don't have the anxiety and everything like that.
Yeah.
But to hear him with all his experience, that he still gets nerves, and the fact that he can overcome that first day to not give up, being that far behind. You've got two players, like you said, Andrew and Chris, playing out of their skin,
Mm-hmm.
having that little bit of a camaraderie, playing great, pushing each other. If we were in that situation, we're 8 shots back after hole one.
After round one.
After
Yeah.
round one, after a whole one, after round one, you got to be like, "Ugh, well, that's my tournament done. I'll play, but I'm playing to get the best score I can." But nope, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna keep playing my game. I'm not gonna worry about what other people do, and then goes around, turns it around, ends up winning the tournament.
Yeah, fantastic. And then from Chantel's side too, again, talking about the mental strength, as she's told us before, we've heard her in her social media posts in that sometimes when you're on the tour and that grind, and she just said it in our interview, is yeah, sure, it's a physical one, but you get used to the physical one. It's the mental one that's the tough one. And for her to pull everything together for that last episode,
Yeah.
fantastic. And I just did a quick little recap as we look at that. So 11 A-tiers in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
There were only 6 unique winners on the MPO side because Noah took down multiples, Thomas took down multiples. So that means there were 6 different names that won on the Canadian side.
Right.
And then on the FPO side, when I looked, it was a little bit more spread out because there were 9 winners on that side. So there was just Chantel Badinsky who won twice and
Right.
Jessica Goulet. So we had 2 repeat winners out of the 11.
Yeah.
And then otherwise, yeah.
Everyone else is a brand new friend. Well, not brand new, but a different winner. Yeah.
Well, it's not quite the same as 6 and 7, but 6 and 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that kind of finished that. And then I think to me, what do you feel? Let's just cap this off. We've been going on for a while, but I'm okay with it. What was your feel on the season of A tiers, on the Canadian A tier? Well, for this year, I guess, compared to last year and
right.
With our coverage that
Well,
way.
from when we had spoken to TDs and you had done the research and things like that, I think as a whole, I mean, obviously Falcons Flight Nationals, take them out of the equation because those are anomalies on the tour, kind of. I think people had said that maybe the numbers were down slightly from the year before, maybe only 20 or 30, but there, it was around the same numbers, but they were probably down. But to be that consistent, to have that, still have that amount of people showing up.
Yeah.
The MPOs and the amateur divisions and all that, but the FPO sides, we've done the fantasy episodes. I always think it's a little bit of a shame when we can't pick 3 FPOs as well.
Yes, for each event.
So when we looking back on it, great events run by great TDs that are very passionate and always want the best for their event and always stepping up to make their events better and better. I would always just like to say, if only there's some way we could just get more FPOs. And I know that's just in general anyway.
That's right.
But yeah,
it would be great to always have about 3 cards if we could get there. Same way we would have with nationals with, I think, almost 3 or 4. The other things too is, of course, doing our fantasy picks shows that we do. That was great. We had all new guests for every episode. I don't think we had a repeat guest from last year. So maybe next year we'll do a best of or
don't say that.
Well, only in the thing is who performed the best, maybe.
Okay.
Like we could really set the challenge up is that the people who won their week or came closest to winning their week, we could maybe choose them and say this is like the greatest hits. But who knows? We'll see.
We got a couple months to worry about until we get back into season 2 of the Fantasy League.
And then looking at it, almost every week we were able to do our recaps. We had a couple misses, but we had a really good run that way. And then the other thing that I really liked was you and Dylan shout out Dylan, this is out to you, buddy, is you guys put together a great new thing for our listeners, and I
Yeah.
can't wait to see what it turns into for next year.
Yeah. For people that don't know,
Mhm.
who doesn't know? But we did, yeah, I think it's the second year we'd done the fantasy, because the first year we did it, it was just on what I was doing here.
Right, it was our
Second,
vote on the team you like best. That
yeah.
was all we had.
And I was doing all the adding up the numbers and
Mhm.
working out the scores and things like that. So I reached out to Dylan and said, "Hey, can we do that?" And I think even you had tried, or we both tried to try and see if there was a way that we could do a spreadsheet through a
Right.
Google
Yeah.
form or some way to automate it a bit more. I reached out to Dylan and said, "Hey, is there any way that we can get like an app or a web-based app to do this?" And Dylan said, "Hold my beer." So we ended up getting chainoutpodcast.com. We have the fantasy over there. First year doing it, the number that I wanted to have done, which was separate to, so like you said, we had two kind of fantasy leagues running
Mhm.
side by side. We have the fantasy picks that we do with the guest, but then we also had the
It's like a
ability
pick six
for,
is really what it was.
yeah, pretty much, yeah. We had the ability for our guests and listeners to pick their own teams,
Mhm.
and that was, we had so many people sign up.
Yep. And we missed 2 weeks ourselves. I think I did. I don't did you get last week?
No,
I missed
yeah,
last
yeah,
week
we
too.
missed a few.
So we had some listeners who did better
The
than we
problem
did.
was for me was because I have Chain Out Podcast admin login, and then I also
You have
have
to log in
I
as
have to
yourself.
log in as Darryl to make my picks, because sometimes I made picks as Chain Out, sometimes I made picks as
Mm.
Chain Out Darryl, and then you made picks as Chain Out Jeremy. So there was like three kind of personas that we could have picked. So that's what I had to remember, is keep logging in as myself to make my picks. But
Yeah.
yeah, I
Well,
didn't.
I like that. I think that was great. I can't wait to see what happens with it next year. And the other thing we want to shout out to Sam, Dylan, you're listening,
Mhm.
is that there are prizes to give away. We
Yes.
always deliver on our giveaways, and we have prizes. What we did just
We're gonna
talk about is that I believe John Pytel was going to give us a couple things, and we didn't actually get to that yet because he
We
was
can
going
reach
to
out to
send
them
them
and
out.
find
But we'll
out
see if
if
he's
they're
still
still
got that
available.
offer.
Yeah.
But we've got BR gift cards and other items that will be given away, and we'll do them all.
Yes.
Yep.
We haven't forgot about it. We will do it.
All right, Darryl. I don't want to let your amazing quiz not
Yes.
get done. So let's get to it.
I'm excited. Yes, Sam, there are prizes. There were gift cards given out for voting on whose team you thought was the best.
Yeah, on Instagram or Facebook.
There
Yeah.
is because we ended up splitting the season into two. So there was the first five, and then there's the final five,
Mm-hmm.
or the first six and the final five. And there was going to be, or there still is, but I just never got around to actually figuring out who won it. But there's a prize for the midpoint, and then there will be an end of season prize, and we'll figure out exactly what we can do with that.
Yeah.
And Dylan says, "Woo, glad the app was used."
Well,
Absolutely, Dylan, it was, and we can improve on it if you're still game to work on it with us.
well,
We
and
want to improve on it for next year.
yeah, and even utilize the website more. We've talked about maybe putting some articles on it and
Yeah.
some other things like
Well,
that.
I
So
want to speak to you about that afterwards.
we will chat about that. But the other thing I was going to say too, Dylan, was yeah, we really appreciate it. And we hope that I know that you'd been working on this app for quite a while, or this program. I'm hoping that you were happy with the use that it got this year, because it's kind of one of those things where you have this idea
Mhm.
and then you kind of build it and you're like, what will happen? But
Mhm.
I think for a first year there was a lot of good interest in it, and a
Yeah.
lot of people, and even if they didn't come back and vote every week,
Yeah.
they voted at least once, and a number of people went all the way through. So
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
All right. So oh yeah, and that's
This is
live.
me. Yeah,
Yeah.
he says. Well, the article part is live. But
Yep.
this
But
is
we
what
got
I
to
need.
actually do something with
Yes,
it.
that's why we need to have a conversation. That's an off-air conversation.
That's right. That's the
All right.
yeah.
Are you ready?
Ready.
It's quiz time.
Boom, boom,
We've
boom.
so sometimes we take it in turns, back and forth, back and forth. Sometimes you do two quizzes in a row, and I'm like, I thought it was my turn, but you're like, I did it anyway. So I jumped ahead this time, and I said, I've got a quiz for you, and we're calling this quiz Silhouette SillhouWho.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Silhouette, SillhouWho.
yeah. So it's going to be a very straightforward um, theory to this quiz.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to show you a silhouette of a famous disc golfer.
Okay.
No clues. You can let the chat have a guess first if you like.
Can I only ask one question?
Prior to the or
But
you're in?
prior to you showing anything.
Yes, you can ask me a question
And
right
you
now.
can tell me whether
Now
you
is the time.
can or not answer it.
Okay.
We are a Canadian podcast.
Yes.
Are we sticking with Canadian disc golfers? Or are we mixing?
I will tell you we're mixing.
Okay, so we're
There you
mixing.
go.
All right, that's all I need to
That
know.
gives you some sort of an advantage.
Yes.
So it's up to you if you want to let people in the chat have a guess first.
Oh yeah,
But
Dylan.
some of them are going to be easy, some of them are going to be hard. It's not going to be a very hard. There's no thought process. It's not like
It's
you have to
either
think
you
of a
know
theme.
it or yeah.
It's either, you can kind of look at it. You can kind of pick the silhouette apart, see what you can find. But it's quite quick. There's 10 of them,
Okay.
and it'll go for as long as you want to guess. Okay.
Well, I'm ready. Dylan,
All right.
Bam, jump in there. I want you guys to be part of this. If I don't have a guess and you do, let's go with you guys. Let's see how the three of us do together.
All right. So for the first silhouette, SillhouWho.
Silhouette, SillhouWho. Oh my gosh.
We're starting easy on this one. We're
okay. So I'm looking at this one here, and at first, what someone might want to say is this person looks like they have a big head of hair. And you might think that would be Calvin Heimberg because of that. But there is another player out there who has a big head of hair. And I'm thinking it might be.
Don't look if you.
No, we're working together as a team.
Oh, okay.
So I'm throwing it out there, guys, before we put our guess. Yeah, okay. So you're saying Vinny. I'm thinking it's Zach Melton.
So there you go. We're split because Sam says.
Oh, so he says Zach Melton.
Sam says Zach Melton.
Yeah.
Dylan says Vinny.
I'm going with Zach Melton.
Are you ready? You're going to go with Zach Melton?
And yeah, we got 2 out of 3.
All
Zach
right.
Melton.
The answer is.
Oh, it is Vinny.
It's Calvin Heimberg.
And Sam jumps in there. All right. I thought that would have been too easy. That you wouldn't have started us that easy.
No, I started you that easy.
All right.
All right.
Good guess there, Dylan, and good second guess, Sam.
Don't second guess it too much. Go with your.
Vinny was my first guess. Too.
Exactly.
I said it. Yeah. Okay. Second one. Let's go.
You ready?
Okay. You know who that looks like to me? I see that hat.
Yeah.
I see that form. That is Mr. Simon Lizotte.
You're not even going to give the chat a chance to guess.
Well, yeah, no, chat, guess with me. Tell me, is it Simon or is it not?
Some of them are pretty iconic. That's why I picked them. Kind of easy. And I went with Vinny with the big hair.
Yes.
Because there is times where he's shaving it.
Yeah.
So I went with Vinny with the big hair. This one.
You know what I thought with the Vinny one was I think because the silhouette, because of his hair, it doesn't get right into the grooves and stuff. So it looked a little poofier.
Right.
And Zach really has a bigger head of hair. Right?
You know what? I didn't even think that you could have mistaken it for Zach. But now thinking of it, yeah, definitely. It could have either been Zach or Calvin. But
yeah, but when you said we're going to start you out easy, I should have used that.
Yeah. So who are you saying for this one?
I'm saying Simon. Dylan's saying Simon. Let's go with Simon.
It's Simon Lizotte. It's an iconic pose. He's got the arm out. He's got the cap. You know, just the legs apart. Like, this is the thing that I look for in form and things like, not in form, but like if I'm looking at somebody, I'm like, oh yeah, you can tell because they always hold their arm up or they always, things like that. So yeah, good.
And it's funny. I don't watch as much coverage of the DGBT. I do a lot of PDGA live following and watch a couple things here and there.
Yeah.
But so it's amazing how much it kind of gets into your psyche.
Yeah.
Anyways, like it subconsciously filters into your brain.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't remember exactly the order of who these players are, but I think I start to step it up a little bit for you.
Oh, okay.
But you might still get this one. Could almost be
the MLB NBA style logo.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, could.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Silhouette, SillhouWho.
Okay. Oh, I think I know who that is. Looking at that, guys, I'm gonna put it out there. I'll give you a couple more seconds to join it with me.
Now,
so you can think
I've
about
seen it. I did remember. Okay, we're still starting on the easy.
I was gonna say I have 2 words for you. Roll Tide. I believe this is Matty Oram. Does anybody disagree? We'll give them a couple seconds. Yeah, Matty O.
Sam's right in.
As soon as I get one of you guys answering, if you're playing along with us, then as long as we agree, let's go with that one.
All right.
So Matty O. Roll Tide, baby. Yeah, we're Dylan
it's
as well.
Matt Oram. Yeah.
No. Who's Matt Oram?
It's Matty O.
Oh, okay. Whew. I like this. Right. Let's go. Number 4.
Yeah.
Number 4. Oh, okay. There's a lot of flowing hair there. That looks like another one that I've seen, maybe because I'm an MVP Axiom fan. I'm going to say running off the end of um, a T-pad, I would say that's James
Oh,
Conrad.
you're not going to give the chat?
Oh yeah, no, I'm going to
Okay.
give
Oh,
them
yeah.
a chat.
I
Yeah,
was like, yeah,
they're
yeah.
part of it too.
Right. So you're saying
So, because think
James
about
Conrad.
it, even if I say it now,
Yeah,
they don't hear it right away because they're seeing it,
it's true.
right? So,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So we just have to
So
wait for their response.
your answer, you're guessing is James Conrad.
That's my guess. Like, because it does, like, the
You're
thing
right.
is, as soon as the long hair happens,
Yeah.
I'm not, you start to say, is it
There
a
you go.
female? Because it could be an FPO.
Well,
But this one looks like it's James Conrad.
Sam is saying holy shot. Dylan is saying James Conrad.
Let's do it.
Took a second. That looks like a corgi on the shoulder. Well, chat and yourself are incorrect. It was
Oh, it was
Evelina
Evelina.
Stolinen.
And I knew that could happen because as you start mixing in the FPOs
Yeah.
and the long hair is there, it could be an Evelina. Yeah. Because you know what it looks like is when you show the removed silhouette,
Yeah.
we can see that she's facing forward.
Right.
But when I first looked at it, it actually looked like someone
Does make a little bit of a difference,
going
right?
backwards,
Yeah.
right? And
Same
that's
with the
where
one for
Conrad.
Simon. You don't realize, but then you
Oh,
realize he's
Simon's,
facing
I
away.
think he was facing away. I
Yeah.
thought he was.
Oh, you
but
did?
Yeah.
Okay.
But this one here, I thought another person facing away.
Yeah. No. That was
Oh, nice try,
Evelina
guys.
Stolinen. All right. Yeah. See,
Well, and don't forget there, Dylan, he also said there may be some Canadians in here, so we're going to have to.
and I get you didn't ask,
that.
and I didn't mention that there would be some MPO. FPOs.
Oh, I was expecting there would be some
Yes.
FPOs. I didn't think it was all MPO.
All right. Silhouette number 5. Silhouette. SillhouWho.
Oh, now you've got an easy one for me. Only one of the best players of the year this year on the Disc Golf Pro Tour.
Isn't it funny though that even though sometimes you can see them in a silhouette, some people are just instantly recognizable.
Oh yeah, FPO World's winner, FP40 World's winner. From what we've heard, one
so
of the
what
nicest
was it about
people.
the silhouette that gave it away? Before you say the name,
I see the hat, I see the glasses, and then I see it must be the way the disc is held.
It's the arm it's the arm and the holding the the putter. It's like something about it.
You know it's owned.
You know it's own Scoggins.
Good job, Sam.
Yeah.
But again, put the silhouette back on. I thought she was facing away from us.
Right. Well, Dylan saying it looks like Kyle Klein as well.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Could be. Yeah. He wears a hat. Yeah.
But it was owned.
Yeah. Own Scoggins.
And again, remember we talked about how nice Owen Scoggins is making a deal with Tobin Isaac and then giving him one of her trophies.
Yeah, if you didn't watch the fantasy episode, we had Tobin Isaac on, and he had some trophies in his background, and we said, "Oh, look at your trophies. Which one is your favorite?" And he's like, "It's no brainer. It's got to be this one," and pulls out the doubles trophy from USDGC, I think it was.
It was that or Worlds, or it might have even been her Worlds one. Or
Was it
there was a bit of a story where there was one trophy, then there was another trophy. But
Yeah.
anyways, no matter what.
Well, yeah, for some reason he found herself talking to him, or he found himself talking to her.
Partying with her.
Yeah, and they were talking, and she had said, "Oh, well, if I win tomorrow, I'll give you the trophy."
Yeah.
And she ended up not winning. But then an hour or two later, whatever, she comes out and she's got the doubles trophy. She gives her the doubles trophy. Crazy. If she was facing away, that would make her a lefty.
Oh,
there you go.
Good idea. So I knew it was her, but I didn't know why I knew it was her.
So we're halfway through. You got Owen, you got Maddie, you got Simon.
Got Evelina.
No.
No, we didn't get Evelina.
And you said Zach Melton instead of Calvin. You've got 3 out of 5 so far.
So you would say Dylan got an extra one, and then Sam with his second guess, because they both guessed Vinny on their second. I stuck with Zach from the start.
All right.
So
all right, on to number 6.
Number 6.
Number 6, Silhouette SillhouWho.
Ooh.
Now this person,
you don't have to say much more. I'm going to tell you guys.
All I was going to say was this person, I had 2 poses for them, and this is the pose I chose.
Well, one thing I'm going to tell you guys, when you look at the size of those beefy forearms and you see that shape, and then
I'm just curious, if you have a name locked in your head, I'm curious to see what the chat says first. But I know you say
they're not going to hear it. It doesn't matter. You're going to hear it from me, but
I know.
It's just for you.
That's fair.
And then the other thing too, and I would never say this, but this person that I'm thinking has some fairly prominent ears usually as well, and that's Ken Climo. the champ. That's who that looks like to me. It actually does.
Okay.
Now, I don't know what everyone else thinks,
So you
but
what guess are you locking in?
well, you're looking at me like, really? And
No,
I'm thinking, oh,
no.
okay.
I'm smiling. I don't.
Oh, he says Paul
Paul
Macbeth.
Macbeth.
Does Paul have beefy forearms, or am I
The
just
other
seeing
thing,
something wrong?
yeah, I mean, the other thing, it's a silhouette, right? So
Mm,
depending on angle, you don't
yeah.
know if they're facing forward, away from you. Is their elbow bent? Like you don't know. It's to say, yeah, they got beefy forearms, but is that exactly what you're looking at? That's the thing to consider.
Mm-hmm.
They might have beefy forearms. I'm not saying they don't, but I'm just saying,
Well,
does that person have a beard and you can't see it because it's in the shadow?
mm-mm.
Do they not have a beard? Is it a
Oh,
female who like who knows?
okay. So now we've got three different guests.
Yeah,
I say
Ken
Ken
Climo.
Climo. Sam
Sam.
says Paul Macbeth. Dylan says it looks like Big Germ.
Well, he says germ, so I mean he could be you. I did say I'm mixing in some Canadians.
No, I know what my
No,
form looks like. It does
big
not
germ,
look like that.
big germ,
Um.
big germ. Paul Macbeth, Ken Climo.
All right. Well,
You're the one.
that's the
You
guesses. I'm going to go with Ken Climo because
okay?
I don't see. Yeah.
Let's go. It is big germ.
Oh, it's Big Germ. Look at Dylan killing it
When
there.
you said he has big forehands, I was like, because the other pose that I had was him doing his forehand, because he has a very
Oh,
distinctive forehand style. He gets
I
quite
never
low.
realized your Big Germ's
Yeah,
arms were so big.
right. But I mean, is that part of the disc in there? I don't think so. I think in
No, the disc is covered.
the disc is covered in
But
his shadow.
do you see what I mean? Now, obviously, I didn't want to. I'm not making anything more than just stating a fact about a person. Is that Ken's got bigger ears, and you can
Right.
see his ears there, but that's probably because of his hat,
Yes.
right? So, whereas I'm guessing if it was Ken, his ears would be even more prominent.
Even
I'm
more
thinking,
prominent. Yeah.
yeah,
There you go.
wow,
I didn't think I thought you would because I mean obviously it's easier for me because I'm putting it together.
yes.
But I honestly thought you'd probably get 8 or 9 out of 10. But at the
Oh
moment I think you're 4 for 6.
no, oh no, have we done six? I think we've done seven, and maybe I'm
No, that's
five for
6.
seven. Oh, it's six. You've
That's
got
the
him here.
6.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, I'm loving this though. This is a great game.
Right?
Hmm.
All the work that I had to put in to get all these photos in here and do one as a
And then
silhouette.
you've got chain out in the back, and you got
Yeah.
sparkles and all of
Look at
this
all of 'em.
stuff. You
All
have a
right.
ton.
Silhouette SillhouWho number 7.
Number seven. Oh, hmm. This one actually, guys, I'm gonna need your help. I don't even know if I have a guess on this one.
You don't have a guess?
Like, who does that type of jump?
Is it a jump?
I don't
Are they
know.
kneeling?
Oh, no, they're not on their knee. Their foot is forward. Their hand is down. So that's
You
got
don't
to.
think
Oh,
you
that's a.
don't think that's a kneeling putt?
No, I think that's a forehand, maybe. Oh, that's raptor legs. Yes, Dylan's got it, and Sam's got it. That's Ricky.
I thought that was like 10 out of 10 easy for you. How
Yeah.
did you not know that that was Ricky, the only person that does raptor legs?
Yeah, you know what it was it was looking at the face.
Yeah.
I was too focused on that, and
I
it
was
just yeah.
only now looking at it, I was like, Germ needs to watch more disco. Yeah.
But you're right, Ricky's raptor legs. I should
Yeah.
have known that. I've seen that a million times.
Just like the roll tide from Matty O, that pose when he
Yeah.
wins with his glasses hanging off his face. I'm like, okay, you're gonna get this one because no one else is gonna be doing raptor legs. But
Oh
yeah,
man.
Ricky Wysocki.
Good job, boys. Good job out there in the listening side of
All
things.
right, number 8.
Number 8.
Silhouette SillhouWho.
And I need to watch more Joe Mez and stuff. Okay. This looks like my first guess is that's Kristen. That's who it is. Or could that be Chantel if we were mixing in a Canadian? Oh, could it be Chantel? It looks like Kristen to
Mhm.
me.
What's your well, you could
Well, no,
think.
I'm
I'm not
working with
gonna
my team,
oh,
right?
now you're
So,
waiting for the chat.
well, but you've heard what I've said, so we
Yeah,
give
I
each other
heard you say
time here.
Ken Climo.
Yeah, no, I did. And then I said Kristen here. I could
And
see that maybe being Chantel. Yeah, see? Dylan's got Miss Frisbee's there as well. Um, and if this is Chantel and you had done her putt, I
mhm.
think we would know because she's got a very distinctive putt. So it depends on some of the things that are going on.
I feel like that's a real high ponytail from Sam. Dylan is saying it's Miss
Okay, Dylan says
Frisbee's.
not Kristen. If he
He's
says not Kristen, and I did say both of them, but I did say Kristen first. But the form looks wrong, is what um,
the form looks
Sam is
wrong.
saying. So he said
Oh,
it
someone
doesn't
says
look
the
like
form.
Chantel's. I I think it
Sam
is.
said that's a. I feel like that's a high ponytail, but the form looks wrong.
Right.
Dylan says Miss Frisbee's not Kristen. So I don't know what reply Sam is saying the form looks wrong. Whether he's saying the form looks wrong for Kristen or the form looks wrong for Miss Frisbee's.
I think not Kristen. Okay, Miss Frisbee's locking it in.
Locking in Miss Frisbee's. Yeah, it's Chantel.
There we
It's
go.
only after looking back at it, the silhouette, when you
Mhm.
said, "Oh, that looks like Kristen," I'm like, "Oh yeah, that actually does look like Kristen,
A little bit like Kristen
Kristen
Tatar,
Tatar or
but
Kristen Lat."
yeah, but maybe that arm up in the back isn't so much. But it felt like the front arm felt. But that's where everybody's arm
Yep,
should be at some point in their throw.
yep.
So
There you go,
nice.
Miss Frisbee's herself, Chantel Badinsky.
Two more.
Two more
Okay.
coming into silhouette SillhouWho number 9.
All right. Let's do it. Let's do it. Oh, okay. My first guess, real quick, before everybody else throws theirs in, because you want me to, even though they
Sure,
can't hear me yet, is Katrina Allen is my first one out of my mouth
first
on
instinct.
there. Yeah.
Okay, is that what you're going with, or are you going to wait for your chat?
No, I don't know if I'm ready to go with that,
Okay,
but Paige Pierce. No, they're right. I think
Sam's saying
Sam, I
PB.
think you're right because we know that Paige will put the disc up to her head,
Mm-hmm.
and we just even saw it in the video that we just watched before she did it, and you can see a little bit of long hair there.
Page, if this was in a video and a silhouette of a video, you could definitely tell Paige's putt because she'll
Yeah,
hold it in front, hold it above her head, give it a little flick,
and then
and
bring
then
it
putt.
down. Paige Pierce.
You're saying Paige? Are you sure you're not saying Katrina Allen?
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's Paige Pierce. Of course, it was Paige Pierce with the way that she holds the disc above her head. She holds it at eye line.
Well, at least even if I didn't guess it at first, when they said Paige Pierce, I could
You can
tell
instantly,
you why
yeah,
they said Paige Pierce, and it made more sense. So
yeah,
we got the two pros there. Thank you guys for being in there.
yeah.
And then we got one more.
One more.
Unfortunately, only one left
Yeah, I know,
of
right? You've
this
been
fun
doing
game.
these. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, the last one.
Okay, let's do it, boys. Ooh. Oh, that's Tommy. Tommy G, baby.
Tommy G, you sure?
I'm gonna let's wait till everyone else gets in there, but I know almost for a fact.
For a fact.
Almost for a
Almost
fact.
for a fact. That's a bit of a
Yeah,
oxymoron.
yeah.
Definitely maybe.
Honestly, does Tom? It almost looks like he's wearing glasses, and I don't know if Thomas wears glasses.
Mm, maybe it's not Thomas then.
Oh, so if it's not Thomas, yeah, Gilbert. Yep. All right, because we know that he does have that, and that looks like a tall drink of water.
I
So
mean, it's all about perspective and angle. Yeah,
Tommy Gunn,
Tommy Gunn. Oh,
Tommy G,
you're saying Thomas Gilbert?
Thomas Gilbert. We're locking it. Well, if three of us say it, and it's they're not disagreeing with me,
The
then
pros are saying
yeah,
it's
the
Thomas
pros
Gilbert.
they know the ones who know silhouettes.
How do you not know that Thomas Gilbert wears glasses?
It's one of those things
Go-
we've talked to him so many times. Do you think has he ever come on without glasses? If we were to look back, could you
I mean, I don't know.
guarantee?
He might be wearing contacts now, but I'm pretty sure he wears glasses all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I had to try and get one with his huck face as well. So,
Yeah.
but and it's, I mean, obviously that's a full power throw,
Mm-hmm.
but you can see how he's got his left arm almost tucked in by his waist,
That what
or
they
by
always
his,
tell us to
put your
do,
hand in your
right?
pocket, or yeah.
Yeah. So that's
Um,
interesting. I have to do this well. Guys, how did you like that game? I think this is probably one of the best ones. I really
Silhouette, SillhouWho, silly you is what Sam is saying.
Come on. Really? Really?
How did you like that? Was that a good game? Was that too easy? I mean,
Oh,
obviously, I
it was
figured it was
great.
too easy because, like, I watch a lot of pro, and I kind of can identify how people throw, and
Mm-hmm.
they have their nuances and things like that. Some people, flick the wrist out more when they putt. They have it
Yep.
more open. Obviously, Paige has it up, things like that.
Well, here we go. I'm gonna do this when we
Sam,
got some feedback.
well, yeah, Sam says, I remember some TCO coverage or something where he pulls them off, and Matt Lysak said something like, most polite pop off you'll ever see.
There you go.
Yeah.
We just talked to him for season 1 episode 100 or
Yeah.
season 2 episode 100, and I'm looking at a picture of him right now. There
With
is no question at all. Thomas Gilbert does wear glasses.
exactly. Yeah. Just one of those things though, that the more you look at somebody, the less
Well,
it doesn't stand out because it just becomes the norm.
I wasn't sure with Thomas if he was
I
still.
have a beard.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see it now.
Well, I wasn't sure with Thomas if he was the same as me. So I wear my glasses. You guys see here, but if you look in the early episodes, I wasn't wearing them. I wear them because I need to see for distance. And we have a screen over here now that we've got some of our notes and things that we want to reference. So I want to be able to see that. So I've started wearing my glasses. But at work, when I get to work,
Mm-hmm.
I don't have them on. I get to work, walk into my office, and take my glasses off and don't put them on again until I leave for the end of the day.
Right.
So there's a lot of people who, if they don't see me come in or they see me leave,
Right.
they think I don't wear glasses.
Yeah.
And then they see me. So I thought maybe that was the thing with Thomas, but no, Thomas wears
How did you
glasses.
like that?
Oh, loved it. Silhouette, SillhouWho, Sillhalicious. I'm trying to think of something
It may come
on the
back.
fly. Yeah.
It may come back for a second run.
There you go.
Yeah. It takes
Awesome.
some time to actually go and get the photos.
And is it hard work to make it into the silhouette? You're not doing that manually. It's able, like,
No,
is
I
the,
do it
the
manually.
really?
Yeah, it's just a dragging of a scale to darken that part is fine. It's the
Okay.
you have to find the picture, then you have to remove the background to just get the silhouette. Then I have to import it into another software. Then I have to drag it down to get the silhouette, export that picture, then go back in, bring the full color back up again, then add the title, then export that video to get the title to show up, then bring it into the software that we use, then layer them as you can see, silhouette 1 reveal, silhouette 2 reveal, silhouette 3 reveal, so that I can just push a button and have that second video pop up. There's a lot of work to it, but it was good.
It was great.
Yeah.
Good
When
job.
I was making it, I was like, yeah, this is pretty good. I like this. And I had this idea for quite a while, but I just never gotten around to it. Or whenever I say, oh, I'm going to do a quiz, you're like, yeah, I've got one. And I'm like, all right, well, I don't need to work on it now then. But
yeah. Well, I've got an idea maybe that I can do, because you talked about a lot of things and I kind of just started to hear because I can't do those things.
Right.
So I kind of was there. But you know what I might be able to do, and this is another one that they did on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. Maybe what I'll do is I'll draw.
There you go.
I'll draw some disc golfers for you.
Yeah, because on the Pro Tour, they say, who is this? And they say, oh, I don't know. That kind of looks like anybody. Who drew it? Oh, it was Emily, age 5. But a 40-year-old man, almost
Yep.
a late 40-year-old man is going to do a drawing.
I'll do drawings. And unlike if Judge did this for us,
yeah,
we'd know exactly who they were.
Right.
But if I do it, I'm an okay drawer.
Well, if you could draw it
my
and
name
then
is
take
Jeremy,
a photo.
and I like to do drawings.
If
Do you know that one?
If you
It's
no.
English. That's an English voice.
Oh, that's what it was? I thought that was South African.
No,
No. If you could do it, do a drawing and take a photo of it, email them, and I can pull them up on screen.
Okay.
Then maybe we can do something.
All right. That's it, guys. I don't know if it'll be next week,
the
but
chat liked it.
I got to do some
and
drawings.
what I think, I mean, I don't know. I was going to say next time I'll do it, I'll make it harder. Because I feel like Calvin Heimberg was a dead giveaway. Ricky Raptor Legs was a dead giveaway. Owen, I thought was pretty easy. Simon, I thought was pretty easy.
What I would say is
Paige was easy.
We could do something where you say, I will not use any of the people I used before.
Right. I wouldn't do that. I would always pick somebody new.
And say there's still, like, and we could continue down. It doesn't matter. You could use the same people, because if it was a different pose.
I felt like I wanted to include some Canadians, obviously. But I felt like if I used Calvin Rorda.
That would have been fair.
You wouldn't have had a clue what
I
his
think
form
really
looked
you
like.
could have only done Thomas. I probably would know Colleen's form, Chantel's, Rebecca, Sophia, maybe. Like the ones that we know that are on the tour, I might know.
You feel like maybe you might know Colleen, maybe you might know Rebecca, but yet you thought Evelina Solonen was James Conrad.
Hey, I was not the only person. None of us there. But Dylan qualified that he didn't realize FPOs were in there too.
Right.
So.
I think we've been talking a long time.
Yeah. But you know what? That's awesome. Thank you, Dylan. Thank you, Sam. I'm glad you guys enjoyed this one. It tops the cake for me.
There you go.
And I can't wait to do the next one. And you know where I'd like to do it? Maybe when I'm on the course
Yeah.
and I'm hanging out and I got my little piece of paper there and I'm drawing.
Right.
I could draw that picture and maybe I'll draw the player standing
Where?
around the basket.
Thanks, everybody.